Hi, this is Dave Birkett, Lions beat writer for the Oakland Press, back with another edition of Lions Lowdown on theoaklandpress.com and YouTube. First order of business this week is the Lions signing of Daunte Culpepper. He came in last Tuesday for a workout, wowed the coaches with his arm, didn't show too much rust after being out of football for the entire season, and it was something that they had worked diligently on to get a contract the next few days. Finally signed the papers this past Tuesday, and then took most of the reps are in number one reps in practice on Wednesday, and it looks like he'll be the starter this Sunday against Jacksonville. Rod Marinelli has not announced as much yet, and Drew Stanton took about a third of the starters reps on Wednesday. But the Lions brought Culpepper in for a couple reasons. Number one, they think that he gives them the best chance to win now. I think everybody remembers Jim Colletto's comments last week about Stanton, that they didn't want to put him out on the field to avoid embarrassing himself. And I don't agree with those comments. I'm on record as saying I'd let the young guys play, Dan Orlovsky and Drew Stanton. But Orlovsky's hurt right now. He's got a thumb injury. Stanton isn't ready in the coach's eyes. So it looks like they're going to turn to Daunte Culpepper under center and hope that he can spark the team to a victory. 0-8. They don't have a ton to lose right now. And the other thing is they're really keeping an eye towards next year. There aren't a whole lot of veteran quarterbacks that are going to be free agents this year, and by locking Culpepper up right now, they figure at least they can go into next year knowing who their quarterbacks are going to be. Kind of see what Daunte has if he is washed up, and frankly, a lot of people thought that was the case after he left Oakland and Miami. Then they can cut him. They're not going to owe him any more than what they're paying him right now, which is a prorated portion of the veteran's minimum salary. If they decide to keep him, it's going to be at a much steeper price next year. But if they do that, they're moving on, assuming that he's going to be the starter. So I think you're going to see him on the field this week against Jacksonville. I don't know if that's going to be good enough to win. Originally I was going to pick the Lions to beat the Jaguars, but after Jacksonville lost to Cincinnati last week, the other previously winless team in the NFL, it's tough for me to see them losing 2 straight games. I do, however, have 3 keys for the Lions to win, as usual. How they can get that first win on the scoreboard. Number one is going to be using Culpepper's big arm and throw it down the field to Kelvin Johnson. Daunte was asked on Wednesday, if Kelvin reminded him of Randy Moss at all. And of course he said, yeah, we all expected that. But the one thing that he said was watching him, just the little bit that he's seen him on the field and watching him on film when he was studying, getting ready to play this game and prepare for this week, is that he's a playmaker. And you can throw it up to him down the field and he can make plays. And that's what he did with Randy Moss a little bit. He threw for over 20,000 yards in his 7 seasons in Minnesota. So it's definitely a weapon that the Lions can take advantage of downfield. And they did a little bit better job of that last week, getting Kelvin in the mix, though he only had 2 catches in the second half against the Bears. Number 2 is going to be the turnover battle, especially with a possibly rusty quarterback. Something that really came back to bite them last week. They had the lead. They had the game in the bag against the Bears, really. Dan Orlovsky threw an interception in the end zone. He had an interception earlier. They fumble late. Michael Gaines caught a pass trying to get a few extra yards, and he fumbles. And next thing you know, Chicago wins 27-23. And that's something that the Lions can't afford to do. As bad as they are talent-wise, as many holes as they have, they can't afford to give the other team, multiple opportunities. And especially against a Jacksonville team that has really underperformed this year, at 3-5. They're not what a lot of people expected. And that leads into my third point, and that's going to be stop the run. Jacksonville has not run the ball great this year. Maurice Jones-Drew is not having nearly the same sort of production that he had last year. Fred Taylor has struggled. So the Lions need to keep those 2 bottled up, keep those 2 contained. What really hurt them last week against Chicago, in my opinion, was when Matt Forte got going late. He had a couple nice runs on Chicago's last touchdown drive, and that really sparked Chicago to victory, because before then, and with a backup quarterback in, the Lions were really having their way with the Bears. So they need to make sure that they keep Jacksonville's running backs contained this week, and if they can get a few big plays on offense, they have a shot to get their first win of the season. That's all for now on Lions Lowdown. Once again, I'm Dave Birkett, Lions beat writer for the Oakland Press, and we'll be back next week with a preview of the Lions-Panthers game.